Yeah.
I've done 100 podcasts. Welcome to another Real Estate and Shit episode. I am here today I am here today with Ashley.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Say
How's
hi.
it going?
As everybody knows, we started this podcast with the purpose of basically shining the light on everything that's about working in real estate. Like everything that goes bad in real estate, basically the truth that of what happens when you work in real estate. And everybody has a different story, everybody has a different perception, and that's what we're trying to do here because everybody's making it seem so wonderful and so pretty and glamorous.
Sunshine and rainbows,
Right. That I want to kind of talk about the rain, instead of just the rainbow. So why don't we start with the following? This is the first question that I ask everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you start in real estate and how it's going for you so far?
All right. So, how did I get into real estate? I love getting asked this question just because I'm always like, what's the right answer to this? But you just got to go for it, right? So, to start off, I really have a finance background. I originally wanted to get my CPA, and I did some audit work at an accounting firm. And I was spending hours from like 8 in the morning to 10 at night during the busy season because not only I was doing the audit part, learning that, but I was also like doing word processing. So I was putting all the financials and the booklets together. And don't get me wrong, like trust me, if I can go back and stay there, I would. I loved the partners, my bosses. I loved the group, my coworkers. I still keep in touch to them this day, but the workload was a lot. And I don't know if that was something that I was going to be able to handle for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Even though I loved it so much, I really did. I would go back, but I know I wanted more for my time. And then I will always give grace and honor to a family friend. Her name is Maggie, and she's been in the business for years. I love her. She always wanted me to get into real estate from the beginning.
Okay.
Because she's always like, your attitude, you're so
She had an
outgoing.
influencer.
Yeah,
okay.
She was an influence for sure. And when I finally got my license, she was so excited.
And when did that happen?
That was... So funny enough, I did the class right before COVID.
Okay.
And then everything shut down. And then I got my license right after everything opened up. So 2020, at the end of 2020. My first year. So yeah, I just knew I wanted more for my time. And, when somebody kind of keeps pushing you for something, maybe after a while.
Maybe you take it as an omen.
Yeah, you take it as an omen. And, I was just like, you know what? I can still, put my background and finance and what I know into real estate. You're always going to need to know financials because that's what's going to make you or break you, So having that background is really good. So yeah, I got into it at the end of 2020. So it's been 3.5 years now.
So just to kind of put a mental picture for everybody watching, right? So you're coming from a finance background, right? COVID happens.
Yes.
You've had a friend that's been pushing you into getting your real estate license, and then you finally do it, right? How old were you when this happened?
Oh my God, I'm 27 now, 23.
So at 23, you start your journey. As a 23-year-old, when you're starting in a brand new industry that you do have, some sort of a background and some sort of experience, but nobody really prepares you to what happens after you get your license, right?
At all.
So at 23,
Only life does.
So at 20, exactly, because at 23, you don't really know what to expect of life, or how are you even sure that that's what you want to do? So what was it about, let's say the first year that you started as a 23-year-old brand new licensed, realtor? What was the main challenge for you your first year?
I would say, I guess, getting that consistency and motivation.
Okay.
Because let's be real, unless you don't have that family or that connection to really help you make that $1 million sale the first year, it's really hard to get there. I mean, with push and consistency, there have been people that have gotten to there, right? I'm not going to say that's luck because that's hard work, right? But it doesn't happen to everybody, right? That's the point, right?
Well, not everybody has the same resources. You got to work with what you got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not everybody has the same resources. So for me, was mainly just getting that consistency and motivation to continue. The mindset, exactly. To not get easily, broken down. right?
Yeah,
Or break
yeah.
down
Which
easily,
which
right?
this industry has broken me down.
Oh,
Like
I
at least
mean,
twice.
it's
You know?
easy to break
Yeah.
down or get broken down. You know, it's very easy because if you don't have a strong mindset or a strong attitude, or if you're a very emotional person, it's definitely not the industry
Right.
for you. You really have to learn to take that out.
That's funny you say that because like okay, so I started in the industry when I was 25, right? So not much older than what you were. But the first year for me was like I always tell people like the first year for me was mental. It was a mental battle of like I didn't know if I was gonna make enough money to pay my car notes. I didn't know if I was gonna make enough money to pay anything. To be honest with you, and it took me 6 months to close my first deal, basically. And for 6 months, I was just eating crap. You know, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work out, but it has to kind of work out. And I think that's what most people kind of struggle with, like in the beginning, like that mental warfare because you don't see any results. You keep working and you wake up and you're like, what do I do today? Where do I get a client from? You know?
Exactly. And I think that's what a lot of people like either struggle with because in order for you to see any type of return, you do have to waste some money on leads, on marketing, or
I wouldn't
learn
say waste,
how
but
to
spend some
in,
money.
in
Yeah.
ways.
Invest some money.
Invest, that's the word, invest. Exactly. You're not spending, you're investing in yourself, right? But don't think that it's going to be free. Like you really do have to invest in yourself in order for you to see that type of return back. Because and that's something that I struggled with too. Like where do I find my leads, or how do I do this, or if you're not comfortable on the phone, cold calling people, you're not going to put yourself out there, so you really have to get comfortable with putting yourself out there and talking to people and really networking, because if nobody knows you, how are they going to trust you or work with you?
You need exposure.
You need exposure. So investing in yourself, in going to networking events or going door knocking or cold calling or this or that, which there are many ways that you don't have to spend, right, or invest in the money side.
You can start with what
but
you got.
You can start with what you got, but that's what you need to learn, to start with what you got and master that in order for you to go to the next level.
When do you say you got a hold of like the consistency and the motivation? Like, how long did it take you for you to be like, this is what I do now, and I'm gonna stick with it? Like, I'm gonna keep doing it.
I'm not even going to lie. Probably like 2 years in.
That's why would you? That's a realistic answer because I don't think I felt like that till last year, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, and probably not even until last year. It was kind of like maybe 3 years in, honestly, like 2.5, 3 years in. Not until I felt like I got into the space that I wanted to, meaning into the brokerage firm with the people that I felt most comfortable with, myself, that I know it's going to help me progress to the next level.
Right.
Because I'm the type of person that if I'm not feeling good where I'm at, physically, I'm not going to be able to work good mentally.
Right.
And it's going to show in my work. So, once I kind of found the brokerage that I really enjoyed being at and the people that really made me feel comfortable to work at, that's when I think everything started kind of settling in, because I started finding myself within.
And you know what? That's funny because I had a friend that tried to join into the real estate industry last year. Tried to become a realtor, and he came from he was very successful at his job, like where he comes from. And one of the issues that made him quit 3 months in was basically where he was at. Because after you've been in this for a while, you kind of know what people promise you and what people say and how it really is.
Yeah.
And when you're new, it's very easy to get kind of bamboozled. I guess that I can't think of a better word.
Yeah.
Like it's like that.
Gotta say it straight
So
up.
having someone or finding the right organization to work with is crucial for at least for your beginning.
Oh, 100% it is. Yeah, because that's kind of really what made me lacking the motivation in the beginning, in the first year.
Yeah, if you don't like it, you're not gonna try.
You're not gonna try. I
Yeah.
really lost motivation, and honestly, like, I'm super grateful for the first mentor that I have, and this is not bringing anything down. I'm grateful because I wouldn't have, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to be in positions that I was in. So I am grateful, and I've met people that I can, still stay in touch with until this day, and it's been beneficial, But
Did you always have a mentor?
In the beginning, yes, I did.
Since you started?
Since I started.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how many mentors have you had so far since you started?
Well, that was my first official mentor team leader. I mean, my mentor, honestly, right now, I would give it to brokerage George Guerra Jr. 100%. And my business partner Brian Osuna and his girlfriend Karen Gomez. I'm, they're my business partners, but they still they really help me. How is it? How can I put it into words? They just really help me push forward. They really
you get surrounded by better people
yeah.
at a different phase in your life.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Because, for example, I think of the people that I'm surrounded by today, and I've lost a lot of, I wouldn't say I lost friends. It's just I don't keep in touch with some friends anymore because now my circle is different.
It changes.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that those people are not good people. It's just simply they're just not on your path anymore.
They're good for a season.
Yeah,
that's it.
They're for a lesson. You know what I mean? They're supposed to sometimes be a stepping stone in a way towards what you're really supposed to be doing. You know?
Exactly.
And that's gonna continue to happen eventually. You know.
Oh yeah, it changes.
The more you change and the more you adjust, because another thing is that the industry is always changing too. So
if you're not evolving with the industry, you're gonna stay behind.
Right, and that's one of the things that people used to always tell me, hey, we don't know what the market's gonna do. The market that, the market this, and I always thought of the market like a monster.
Yeah.
You know. Now I'm just it's just a game. It's whatever.
Always been a game.
Yeah.
Always.
Whatever it does, I'm gonna be able to adjust and just keep doing what I'm doing. You know?
It's a chess game.
Yeah.
You gotta wait to the next move, and you gotta beat it.
I love that. That's a nice analogy. That's good. I like that.
I mean, honestly, don't they say life is like a board game or something like that, like chess game or something? It's true. You don't know what the next move is, but once it gets there, you really have to learn how to either get around it or beat it, and that's how anything in life is. So if you don't take it like that and take it like a lesson, I'm talking to myself on this too.
I love that.
You're not gonna evolve. You're not gonna go anywhere. And I always tell everybody, if you're not evolving with the days, with the industry, with life, period, you're gonna stay behind because things are changing daily, every second.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
And you see that with the veterans too, veteran realtors. They've been doing this for a while, for a certain, in a certain way, and they don't want to change things, and then you go extinct when you don't.
And that's the thing. A lot of things have been turned into on the phone, technology-wise, Zoom, that, Zoom. So, and let's be real, not everybody likes technology, even though that's literally what life is surrounded with, and we live by. Let's be real. We're literally on our phones 24/7, which we're not living life like that either, But you gotta have that work-life balance. But that's another thing. So if you're not learning how to use certain types of technology or willing to change, I think you're gonna stay too comfortable, and sooner or later you will be cut out.
Technology. Yeah, you do need it.
You will be.
And then
cut
once you get the only way to, for example, when you start growing more and you start getting more volume, more sales, more clients, you do have to rely on certain level of technology, at some point. You know what I mean?
You really do.
Let me ask you something. So, mentally, for health-wise, your mental health, being as a realtor, what's that like whenever you got let's say you have a great transaction going on and then appraiser comes out short? Some shit happens, that just fucks up the deal.
Just happened to me a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you deal with that? What do you go through? What emotions do you feel when that happens, and how do you overcome those?
Well, one, I try not to go crazy. I don't know how to answer that professionally.
You were so tense. You were like, I don't know.
I don't know how to answer that professionally.
Just do
Honestly,
it. Just say it.
Look, if it isn't from my business partner telling me relax, calm down, let it out, and then we're back into it, I honestly would be a hot mess. Let me tell you, because he knows how to be bro, it's fine. We're gonna find a solution, and it's true. To every problem, there's always a solution, and that's what I try to tell myself. But you always want everything to come great. You always want everything to be sunshine and rainbows, right? You don't want an appraisal to come down low. So when I saw that, I was like, no. And he's like, all right, this is fun. Look at it. Let's go. This is where the party starts. And I'm that's how I have to look at it too. Because if I stress myself out, and I'm gonna get real personal here.
Yeah.
I have alopecia, so I have an autoimmune disease, and the reason why I had that is because of stress. I put my body through stress. I and I lost 75% of my hair. 75%. And that's a lot. And hair, to me, is everything, especially for a woman, you know?
Yeah.
So it's been really hard mentally wise, right? Because I'm dealing with a very stressful job, career,
Right.
period.
So how do you bring your cortisol levels down?
It hasn't been easy. I don't think
I haven't figured it out.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. But what I'm trying to do is just kind of do things that make me more happy and try to really disconnect when I need to disconnect and set boundaries.
Okay.
I'm still learning the boundaries.
Okay, no, but hold up. I want to ask you about it because I'm also learning the following. Boundaries, right? When do you like just say, fuck it, I'm not going to answer the phone anymore. Like, I gotta get some me time.
I'm still learning that.
Okay,
but,
so.
it's a work in progress. So my phone is on Do Not Disturb by 9 p.m.
That's a fair time though.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, man, like as a realtor, I guess it's a little different, but as a loan officer, let's say, if you hit me up at 9 p.m., there's nothing that I can do about your loan, about your nothing, like literally, But, just, I have an issue with the following. I like my job, right? And I wake up and then I get to my job and then I'm so busy doing everything that the hours just run out. Next thing you know, it's 5 p.m. And next thing you know, I'm here till 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And then I go home. And then by 8 p.m., people still text you. People still call you. And then that's where I draw my line for me. Because if I allow that, people will work you 24/7 if you allow them to.
People will take advantage of you.
Yeah.
They will take advantage of you. And that's what I'm learning. And that's what I'm still learning and trying to set my boundaries with, because if you don't do that, you're going to burn yourself out. And I was literally having that conversation earlier today with a friend. We were having lunch and we were catching up. It's been a while. And, he kind of noticed that I was just work a lot. Associated with work, yeah. And he was like, dude, do you, chill? Like,
but that happens, and I feel so bad when that happens because I sometimes I become so, and I'm in autopilot, like just answering calls or answering text messages, emails.
I'm always work.
Work, and then you're hanging out with your friends, and then you're not even present. You're not even talking to.
I'm always thinking about work.
Yeah.
Like, what can I do next?
Okay, but hold up. Here's it. So, I'm the same exact way. Like I am like the most ambitious. Yeah. Laziest person you'll ever meet. Like, I'm serious. Like, I don't like doing things, but I can't stop doing things. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I get you.
And then for me, it's like I do mentally have to check myself and be like, hey, you're with your mom right now, or make sure you speak to them. Because the people talk to you, and I'm like, I'm thinking about something else. So I think that one, that's not a bad thing to have 100%. But it is also bad if you let it be the other
take
extreme.
Over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you let it take over, it's definitely not as good because, it'll take over your life. And you're not gonna learn
you gotta just shut it off.
Yeah.
And for me, I picked up golf this year. I started playing golf, and I just don't answer my phone because that's the only thing that makes me right now as a hobby be present in what I'm doing. Yeah. So if I'm present in what I'm doing, I don't really think about work that much. So now I'm just learning that it's okay to think about work and be like that and always try to try to get more. Yeah, but you also need your time because rest is part of the equation, bro. And it happened to me that I went on vacation in October last year, and then I didn't go on vacation. I didn't take time off till last month, 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry. And for 8 months, I was the longest I had gone without really taking time off, just working every day. And I got to a point that I started hating people. I was like, I freaking hate my phone. Yeah. I don't want to do this anymore. And then I went,
out.
Yeah. And you do burn out. So you do have to rest in betweens. Yeah. And then, every now and then take your time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember when I had a real vacation. It's probably been 3 years. Because I went to North Carolina last year, but I ended up kind of working.
It's just kind of hard not to.
So, yeah, it's hard not to. But, I mean, I have 2 vacations planned this year, so I have to really disconnect and enjoy because I need that refresh. Coming back because I feel it, But, I mean, and it's fun that you picked up golf. I mean, I've been kind of wanting to get into it, but I've been wanting to pick up. It's very trendy
right now.
Yeah, I really want to pick up kickboxing classes actually, just kind of
talking.
Yeah. yeah, I want to pick up kickboxing classes, just cause yeah, I don't know, it's another way to just kind of have cardio in. And I did one class a long time ago, and my arms were sore for like a whole week, but it was such a nice workout. Um, so yeah, I just kind of want to pick that up, learn how to
You should.
fight.
You should come to Costa del Sol with me.
Where's that?
It's right here on 41st.
What is it called?
Costa del Sol.
Costa de Sol.
Costa del Sol Golf Club. And I am like a regular there
Oh.
now. I go there like 3 times a week, like just
So
to
they know you.
practice.
They
Yeah,
know you.
like I know everybody there now.
I have no aim. That's why I'm a dancer. But you know, we gotta work.
I was
on
gonna
it,
say
right?
that. Okay, so funny story. I actually met Ashley for the first time at a shuffling class.
Yeah.
Like no joke. I have a video I think of this, and I was pretty
That is
bad.
so funny.
I was pretty bad.
Oh,
And then you
you
were
know,
like
we
so
all start from
serious, and you got
somewhere.
in an 8 and a 1 and a 2, and then I'm like, I'm so awkward dancing.
Hello,
Honestly.
but we all start somewhere.
No,
We
I'm
all
pretty
have
bad.
It in us.
I'm pretty bad.
No, we all have it in us. We just gotta find it. We all have it in us.
So you're a dancer. You're shuffling, right? Like it's the only kind of dance you do, or you do something
No,
else?
I do everything. So in reality, I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. I'm
Okay.
27 now. I've done different genres.
And I saw
dance
you
styles.
dance at Ultra too.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, it was my third year. Third year, yeah.
What's
Crazy
it
to
called?
say
The
third year.
Ultra Angels.
Ultra Angels, yes. It's crazy to say. It was like, I don't know. If you were to tell me my first time at Ultra in 2015 that I was gonna dance there on stage years later, I would be like, yo, you're lying. Like you're shit talking me, right? Like, and yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when you really like work for something or honestly manifest something, that was really what it was when you manifest it.
Yeah.
And the universe sees you working hard for it,
It helps
you'll
you.
receive it.
Yeah, it helps
You'll receive it.
Speaking of that, I love this conversation. By the way, I want to get back to the dancing part
Yeah.
with real estate, but I want to ask you the following thing because this applies to life in general.
Mm-hmm.
Manifesting. What is manifesting to you? Like, and how do you do it? You personally.
I think you can do it in many different ways, right? You can write it down, or if the mind is very powerful,
Mm-hmm.
very, very powerful. Like
That's crazy. I've
very
been attracting a
powerful.
lot of people that think about what you're
Yeah,
telling me right
no,
now.
but the mind is very powerful, and if you continue to say it out into the world, believe that you'll have it, or like just continue thinking about it, like you will one day have that. I think the universe will really give it to you.
Right.
But it's not necessarily of like you're just gonna get it, right?
You have to
to work for
Yeah.
it in order for the universe to give it to you. You
I
know?
love that. I love that
Um,
you know that too.
Yeah.
From you know,
I mean, I feel like I've felt it or have gone through it.
yeah. I always kind of like I like to talk about this because I have literally seen it happen. Like I am living the life that I manifested. Let's say like 1 year ago. You know what I mean? So when I started, I remember coming out of my apartment and then just like walking to my car and I'm like, hey, I wanted all of this. Like I got everything I wanted. You know.
Yep.
And once I started doing that, like learning that, it was like a superpower. I always tell people it's like a superpower. It's like now I know if I just think about it, I do the work, and I just keep believing in myself and what I'm doing is the right thing for me to get to it. It just happens, So it also happens for the other way around. So if like let's say you're new in real estate. You're thinking about like this is not gonna work out. This is a waste of time.
If you think negative, the universe will bring negative.
Exactly.
I promise
You attract what you are.
I know it, and
Yeah.
I literally had that conversation yesterday with a client. And I get it. Sometimes it's really hard to see the positive in something. I know. Trust me. I get it. But if you continue with that, like, it's gonna continue happening.
Right.
At one point you kind of need to realize down, like, okay, I need to change my mindset. I need to change something in order for this to change. Because if you continue thinking negative and you drive yourself crazy in your head, you're gonna continue creating either scenarios or this or that, and you're gonna attract it more. So
when did you find that out? How long have you known about, or when was the switch for you? Like, okay, you know what? I gotta stop thinking like crap. I gotta start thinking positive. When was that for you? Do you think? Because I remember when.
Oh man,
when it was for you.
I don't know. maybe I've had many moments.
I've had my
You know?
my moments where I know and I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm just like, damn, I think God is teaching me the lesson again. I gotta really like
Well,
learn that.
That's
you know?
funny you say that because so I grew up very Christian, like right, and I always associate manifesting with like also God and everything, like because God allows everything to happen, even the good and the bad. So
It's all a lesson.
yeah, it's all a lesson. So if it's
all
still
part of the plan to make you who you are, so when you get to the end.
right, but if you keep getting the same lesson and you keep failing it,
That's
why
him telling you, yo, wake up.
You have to
because I've been going through that too. So he's like, yo, levántate, mija,
Sí,
que
sí.
estás dormida, you know?
I love Ashley's Cuban, by the way. I don't know if you
The
noticed.
Spanglish comes out and it came out. Sorry.
No, it's
God
okay.
is telling me, girl, wake up. You're asleep. Because I guess I was, and I learned my lesson.
And
you know?
and you feel like you're not you're better now. Like you feel like you're awake now.
Yeah, I mean, it
I asked very
took
deep
me
questions,
down
I'm
like
sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, yeah, it took me down a little like little bump, mentally, but at one point you have to snap out of it, right? You have to snap out of it, and you kind of have to take it. You have to snap out of it, and you have to take it as a lesson, and end up, I'm just really like, okay, this isn't working. It has to change.
Okay.
Clearly,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
This happened again. Like, all right, God, you're trying to tell me something. Like, something is trying to tell you something. Like, you got to change mindset, the way you're doing things, something, because
Right. Well, if we keep doing the same thing in
getting
results,
the same
it's
result,
sanity.
we
all know that saying.
We all
I
know
think,
that saying.
Yeah.
It's cliche, right? But it's so true, right? Like, it's so true, and that's what life is all about. It's a lesson, and it's always teaching you what is right.
Going back to a little bit of your dancing, right? Your dancing part. Do you think that helped you in real estate too, or how did you balance? Because at least for me, and I'm getting to a point. I was always scared to show my personal side, while being in the professional side. So do you think it helped you, or if it didn't, how did you make it work? Or
So that's always something that I guess I was fighting with, or going back and forth in my head mentally. Like, what are people going to think? Are people going to want to work with me? And that's one thing that I like to be my authentic self. Like, genuine. Yeah. Like, I try to be my authentic, genuine self as much as I can on Instagram, People are always going to be judging, Yeah. I remember there was one time that I posted like some like funny video, and I did like some weird face, and then I forgot who told me something like, why would you post that? Whatever. And I'm just like, I don't know. It was a funny video.
Older, by any chance?
No.
It was like a peer?
Yeah, a peer. And I was just like, I don't know. I thought it was funny. It's me. Like, it's your humor. It's my humor. Yeah. So, and I'm going to show that no matter what. If you like it or not, then you probably weren't the person for me, Or you probably aren't the client for me, So if you're not... And that's one thing. If you're not your authentic self, how is that going to transpire in your work?
Well, yes. When I started selling, they used to tell me the number one step to buying from someone is that people buy from people they like, right? And unfortunately, people don't really connect. There's so many realtors and so many loan officers that what people really are looking for is connecting with you as a person. So if you're a dancer and the people that are gonna work with you like that, and then they probably are into it themselves. That's gonna be your clientele, like basically. And I think that's
or anybody in the music industry, art industry, anything, sports industry.
They understand that.
They would want to understand that.
And who says you can't dance and do real estate?
That's what I'm saying. You like golf. You play golf. Why? If I like dance, why can't I dance?
Yeah.
Why? People like to do their things. They like to play tennis. They like to play golf. They like to do this. They like to swim. They like to do that. So why is dancing any different?
Why? No, it isn't.
It's not.
No,
it's a hobby. It's a this. It's a that. It can be it's a passion. It's a career.
Right.
You can do so much with dance. And I don't know. I guess people are so scared to either one, look sexy, look good, look this, look that. And they look at it down because they think dancing, they automatically like put the stigma, what type of dancer are you?
Yeah.
Like
it's Miami, that's why.
Yeah,
it's like
Miami. Like it's entertainment at the end of the day, you know. And I like to express myself dancing. I'm showing you how I feel, think this by the way that I'm expressing my body. And honestly, actually saw this really funny video the other day, and the lady was saying how, and it was a Spanish video, it was really funny. She was saying how she's like, I was sad at home, and then, if you're sad, but you put that song on, and it was like, oh, fun song. She's like, started dancing. Oh, she's like, your mood changes. Your mood changes.
Yeah.
Your mood changes when you're dancing.
You manipulate
your body.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just like, if I'm in a stressful environment, stressful career, stressful work, like, I'm going to do something that makes me happy. It's going to make me forget.
So if you see Ashley dancing in a show and she's stressed out,
I'm just trying to get happy. I'm like shaking it off. But no, I mean, it's what I go back to it. I've been dancing all my life. It's what I've been doing since I was 3 years old. I've done ballet, point, hip-hop, salsa, flamenco, belly dance, shuffling now, jazz funk. It's something that I did all my life. If I wasn't in school, I was in dance. It's the only thing I knew.
No, I don't see anything wrong, but I wanted to ask you that because you are very open with what you do with the dancing, right? But when I saw you doing those things, I would kind of like think to myself, I'm like, why can't I post my shit? You know what I mean? Like, look, she's doing it. Like, who cares? Because I wanted to post like, props. Yeah, but no, I play guitar. I do all these things that I don't share.
People like that.
No,
You're
I know
talented.
that.
It makes you a well-rounded person. It's not like you're on the computer all the time trying to crunch numbers. Like, you do that, right? Because you have your hours where you're just like, can't stop working. You know, like you get your work done at the end of the day.
No, but you know what? It goes back. It goes back to like the whole, for example, like because now like I'm afraid that like if it's 9 p.m. and I post me going out to drinks, that's like something to talk about for some people. That was my biggest fear. It's like if they're gonna be talking about me, it might as well be for my business, like not what I'm doing. So I think
if it's all business, are you really showing the type of person that you are?
Right.
You're not at the end of the day. And it was a constant battle of me, like, do I have a personal Instagram and then a business Instagram? But
I only have one Instagram.
I only have one.
Yeah.
And my broker, actually, George, he was like, no, keep your one. He continued telling me, keep it. And he pushed me, you be your authentic self.
Right.
Like, it's what I said. If you're not your authentic self, how are people going to connect with you? How are people going to know who you are? If dancing is my life, it's my life.
I love that.
And I'm going to show it. Like, I love my career. I love Miami. I was born and raised here. Who better yet to work with somebody who knows Miami, right? But I have a passion, and I'm going to show you what my passion is because I'm human at the end of the day. And when I'm not selling homes or something, I'm doing something else that I like. It's going to make me happy in order for me to come back, be a better individual.
And you do better work when you're rested too, when you do the things you want to do.
What it goes back to the question that you asked on how you think dancing helped me. Look, since I was dancing from a young age, I had to have a lot of discipline, a lot of leadership skills, a lot of time management. I really had to learn from a young age. I had to be at ballet or at this practice.
Right.
I had to have my costumes. I had to make sure that my things were packed, right? That I'm here at this time, that I know my dances, right? And that started building my mentality, that gave me the skills that I have now.
It's like sports.
It is.
For us,
it's like sports. Exactly like sports. You get those same exact skills growing up when you're playing baseball, football, anything that's making you get that type of routine and learn those type of skills at a young age, because that's discipline at the end of the day. They expect you to have your stuff, not your parents. They expect you. Yeah, you need your parents to get your stuff right at that age, but your parents are not the one that are playing or dancing or doing this, right? Like, you got to make sure you have your stuff prepared, right? So that really helped me get the skills that I have today in order for me to be a better professional. So
it added to you.
It added 100%.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I mean, there's moments and nights that I had to learn and perform 13 dances one time. And that helped me a lot mentally to really like work on my memory. Because I think this was actually a report that it was scientifically proven, like dancers have better, I really have to double check, but I know I read this.
They're smarter.
But not only dancers, but musicians too. Like anything like that, like you're working your brain 24/7 to really like remember and memorize stuff. Like it's really good for your brain.
Of course.
You're working it.
I know what you're trying to get to. I don't know the scientific name of it either.
I don't remember either, but I know I read this. It was a long time ago. It really was. But I remember reading this somewhere, and it said it. It's a fact. It's true.
Yeah.
Whoever knows this and comments it, go ahead. And if you fight me on it, I'm gonna fight you on this because I know I read this. Okay.
That's funny. No, but it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm with you. I testify. I saw it too. I'm a witness.
No, but it's true though, because when I
think being
stopped
creative.
dancing, yeah,
I think being creative is
it's just
okay.
being creative.
Yeah.
Something that you're working your brain to remember stuff. It really helps a lot, because when I started working at the accounting firm and I really left the dance industry for a little bit,
Right.
my brain, oh my God, coming back, trying to remember dances now, I'm like, oh my God, it's not the same like before. And it's it's something that
Keeps
you
you
really
sharp.
have to work again and really perfect and sharpen again in order for me to get back to that.
Yeah.
Because
That's how I feel playing guitar now. When I play
When you're
guitar
not
now, I'm
practicing
like,
after
oh
a
my
while.
God, my fingers are like,
Yeah.
numb and things,
Exactly. When you're dancing or doing something new, guitar, anything music-wise, anything, like when you're learning something, you're repeating it again and again and again for you to perfect it. It's like how you do anything in life, So yeah.
Feel good?
Yeah.
Feel relaxed?
Yeah.
You're saying a lot of good things.
Yeah, thanks.
No, I love it because, ever since I started doing this podcast, I really didn't know what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't know who was going to come on board. Like, I was like, who am I going to ask to come? I just been like asking people that that I see online. I'm like, hey, you know what? Because I've known that you're in real estate since I started too. Let's say, like, I started shortly after you. So I've seen you also change like the last 3 years since I've been doing this. You know what I mean? And it's kind of nice to see people to grow with and like kind of share the journey. Like, we've never done anything together, but like we're in the same path and we can understand each other's pains.
For sure.
If you had to say something to your younger one, like your younger self, like when you first started, what would you say?
Oh my God, many things. But I would tell myself to just have faith and really believe in yourself. I would probably tell myself, work harder. You should have done the cold calls.
Has cold calling ever worked for you though?
So I think for me, the most how it's helped me is just kind of putting myself out there more.
Right.
And talking to people and not second guessing on, oh my God, what do I say next? Or I'm nervous. How is this conversation gonna go? You just really have to just go for it and go with the flow.
Yeah.
You can literally practice a script so much, but nothing is ever gonna go that way.
No.
At all.
No.
So
I hate cold calling. Dude, it's
I don't
just
like it either. But there have been people that have gotten some real success stories
it works.
from it.
Yeah.
It works.
That's why it's a thing. It's
and
just
I
hard.
just think it's really great to do to just get comfortable with people. Just put your name out there. No matter what, if you get a FU, like they're gonna probably remember your name somewhere. Like, damn, that name sounds familiar. Like, or what if at the end of the day they still kind of save your number somehow? They still cursed at you, but you never know what they can turn into.
Yeah. Well,
you never know.
To be honest with you, I've never closed a deal from cold calling, to be honest with you. But my first landing job, when I first got licensed, it was at a call center for loan officers. That's pretty much the best way I can describe it. So you're a junior loan officer, and they had you with a dialer on the computer. Like, you had a headset and a dialer, and you'd be calling everybody in the U.S. and like, hey, do you want to refinance? Hey, do you want to refinance? You didn't say that, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it was for refinancing.
That was the point of it.
Yeah. And it was 550 calls a day.
Ah!
Yeah, 550 calls a day. Out of
What?
550, you had to get 25 transferred to the senior loan officer.
You had to?
Yeah. If you didn't get 25 calls a day, you get fired. Like 25 transfers.
So 550
I got fired
calls.
from our first landing job.
Hold on. Pause. What time did you start making these calls?
We used to go in at 10 in the morning or 9 in the morning. It was like 9 to 6, 9 to 5.
And you had time to make those 550
550 calls with a dialer is pretty possible because most of them are hanging up on you.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Because the thing about the dialer is like,
oh my God.
no, it was a lot of rejection. It was like, how did you get my number? Do not call me again.
One thing you have to be comfortable with, and I'm still learning the rejection. I mean, as a dancer, I should be comfortable with it, but I guess you just never do, right? Or the feeling just is always a little there, like, oh, it stings, right? But you gotta really learn to just bloop, next page. That's where the non-being emotional comes in.
I'm just like, I like your sound effects. Your
Bloop, bloop.
No, but
Next
that's true.
page.
No, that's true. That's true. Like, I get it. Like, I, I think for me, what it is the more I try to, ¿cómo te puedo decir? I'm losing my train of thought.
It's okay.
I lost my train of thought, to be honest, because you got me with the boop. So, like, no, but for me, like, this year it has taught me the following thing. One, I didn't know as much as I thought I knew. Like, the more I get in this journey, the more I realize that I have a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that I've traveled a long way. So, going back to what I was saying about how I've known you since you started, or since I started, let's say. And then the fact that you're going through similar things mentally and boundary-wise, like, you know, just things that are part of the job, I guess you could say.
For sure, everybody goes through it.
Yeah, so the fact that I can hear other people tell me those things, you know, it's kind of soothing for me too. It's
Oh my
like,
God, I'm so happy. I'm like, I don't go through this alone. Thank God.
No, I'm not. I always try to think I can't be the only one. And like the more I get into this, the more I attract those people too, you know? So I completely lost my train of thought from the previous thing, to be honest with you.
No, it's okay, honestly. But no, to go back to your question, what you said, like what you learned this year, I've learned a couple things this year. One, nothing lasts forever.
Okay.
Nothing is forever at all, okay? Nothing is forever. Two, I guess it's a cliche, and I've learned this for a while, but really never trust anybody. You really have to cover your ass. You have to.
That's kind of like a big thing in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really hard to find people you can trust.
It really is. It's really hard, especially in this industry, but in anything. Honestly, you really can't trust anybody. And I don't want to say that you can't trust everybody, right? You can't. Like, you obviously have those people that you can't trust, but you really have to take everything you're told with a grain of salt. Right. Not until you have the facts or the actions backing up, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. You have to. Not unless it's written, signed, stamped, shown, told, you're seeing it with your eyes. And not even then, sometimes when you're seeing stuff with your eyes, people can do something completely else behind your back. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is not unless you have some type of proof or fact for it, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. It has to. Take everything with a grain of salt. Everything has to be in writing. Everything. Because you really have to cover your ass. You have to.
Okay.
You have to. Yeah, nothing is forever. Nothing is forever, right?
Don't trust anybody.
Don't trust anybody. Cover your ass. CYA. I learned that a long time ago. Thank you, Enrique. My previous job, CYA. You got to cover your ass, always. Have everything in writing. I've learned a lot more, but those are like the four main things, honestly.
I know a lot more, I promise.
Yeah, there's been a lot more that I've learned, trust me. But those are the four major ones that I can tell you right now that are really big. And I guess it's kind of like the same maybe for people, or cliche to say, but it's just something that I've been going through, honestly. Learn. I'm like, okay. I hear you. I hear it.
To conclude everything that we've talked about, right? Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about a little bit about the future, right? So you're 27 right now. Mm-hmm. Not to put pressure on you, but like 3 years away from 30, let's say. Because I'm gonna be 30 next year.
I feel 20. Take me back to 20.
I feel the youngest I've ever been.
I'm still in my 20s, but take away the 7.
By the way, I'm not trying to like put you out there, like expose you. You know,
that's fine. I mean, it's on my page. I'm 27.
27. No, but you know, from 27 to 29. The last 2 years have been a big change. I didn't think everything was going to happen, but I'm approaching that 30-year mark, and then you got 3 years to go, right? So what do you want to accomplish in the next 3 years by the time you're 30?
Oh man,
have you thought about that one?
I mean, I do have it, but I don't know if I want to say my goals.
No, not your goals like that.
Really, somebody put in my head to maybe go get my doctorates because I'm finishing my master's now.
Okay.
And I'm just like, oh, why do you put that in my head?
Well,
'Cause
now I'm glad
really
you're
thinking
saying.
about
Now
it.
I'm glad you're saying it on camera, so I can tell you, hey, did you finish that yet?
No. I actually have 3 weeks left. Graduation is beginning of August, so I'm right there. I'm very excited. So it's already brought me some great opportunities, and hopefully it brings me more, and I know it will, because it will. But yeah, somebody was like, all right, so you're gonna go for your doctorates now? And I'm just like, damn. So I kind of wanted to talk to my director about that. Maybe I will, just to kind of get his idea on it, because he got his doctorates. So I just kind of want to get it. I mean, me, I've always been like a school person, believe it or not. I mean, my undergrad, it kind of messed up a lot, but who doesn't in their undergrad kind of take it too serious, unless you're doing like nursing or stuff like that. You're still very young. Yeah, you're still very young. But school has always been like something for me, and I always thought or think that that's how I can build my foundation on things. At least for me, that's how I like to build my foundation on what I want to learn or do or move forward with. So I maybe want to get into that. There's certain certifications that I definitely want to get before my 30s for sure. That'll help me, with my clients, me, future-wise. And then definitely buy multifamily.
So you want to invest in real estate?
I want to invest for sure.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for all. I think every time that I try to end the podcast, I'm like, how do I end it? Because you want to keep talking. Yeah. Honestly, I could talk the whole day.
I can talk. I can continue talking. That's fine.
No, but I'm really happy you said everything you're saying, because it's nice to hear that other young people are also trying to do something with their lives, that they go through these things, and it's nice to hear from your peers that it's normal that you're going through these things. Like, you're not the only one. Even if you are a veteran in real estate, you still go through your own tribulations.
Oh,
you
you're
still
always
go through
learning.
Yeah,
you're always doing new things.
So it's
no transaction is the same.
Yes. Yeah. No deal is ever the same. Like, you're always learning. But at the end of the day, we can always say that real estate, the industry on its own, it's a great potential for you to like make money, for you to grow as an adult, as an entrepreneur. It'll definitely change the way you see people. 100%. But all of those things the good things come with the bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's just reality. Like, every other job has bad things.
In order for you to get a success, you have to fail.
Right.
You have to fail, and you have to be comfortable. I wouldn't want to say the word comfortable failing, but you do have to know you have to fail in order for you to get. You
learn more
success.
From your losses than failures than your wins.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, with that being said, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Ashley, I'm gonna put your pictures and dancing videos. That way you guys can follow her. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you. If you want to dance your way to the closing table, you know who to call.
Oh my God.